Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another week of Wargaming Fucks Us in the Ass. I'm your host, Derpy, and joined by my co-host, Cujo1989.
He seems to be feeling the love. Okay, we're moving on to news here, folks. We'll start with a simple little quote here. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. That's right, folks. The primary focus of this week are Soviet tanks and also artillery and light tank skill competition. Obviously, you got the discounts for the Soviet vehicles, same as the French. Gotta love the tech tree focus. So if there's any Russian Soviet armor you're pushing for, this is your opportunity to save a little bit of money and earn a little extra. Time is now to move. Moving on to the event of, some people love and hate, let's call it that, I guess. You have to register for this online, and it's played through tiers 5 to 10, and it's the best 50 battles, and the top 60 people in each category get them. I believe that's 60 per tier. I could be mistaken. You're going to see a lot more light tanks than artillery pieces, so if you genuinely want a chance at the reward, maybe you're better off playing artillery than the light tank, but then again, if you're just one of those light tank spamming gods, go for it. Passing it on to you, Derp.
And time to get into the pricey stuff here. So we have the Round Panzer and the Icebreaker. Always been in the store, but the next ladder down is open. We have the loaded bundle and the Round Panzer. We have one more week of that. And then the Icebreaker, it's on its base bundle, so probably by next week that'll be out of the store. We have the Fury, which is an individual tank bundle. You can get for 24 or 24.75. You can get yourself a tier 6 medium with pretty good DPM and pretty fun gameplay all around. We have the Cold Steel Collection. These are the colored tanks besides the red ones. These are the Earthshaker, Eradicator, and Demolisher. So the Earthshaker is a Tier 8 Swedish STRV-81 with a British L7 on it. So at Tier 8, you can fire Hash if you so desire. Definitely recommend you grab this, especially if you're willing to put up with a small DPM buff. Or nerf, sorry. The Eradicator is one of those surprising ones as well. I thought this was a 20-pounder B-barrel, like the Carnival Action 10 and the Paladin. The Eradicator is a 3-shot autoloader with a 20-second reload, 32-pounder. And anybody who's played the British 32-pounder knows that it's pretty decent with its gun handling, and it can deal a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. It might be worth a grab if you're interested in all that. And then Demolisher, you could always spend your money elsewhere because that's a 105 with a 3-shot autoloader, and it's a T-28 prototype, which not a very special tank. We're moving on to the Berlin trio. We have the ISU 122S, the IS-2, and the Cromwell B. These are pretty decent tanks. I wouldn't recommend this bundle, though, only because their Tier 7 is not really a big tier, but at the same time, like, you're better off probably with Tier 8s and everything like that. So the ISU 122S, pretty decent, good DPM, not gonna lie. Your mileage may vary depending on how you play it. IS-2, same thing. If you don't want to pay for this, then you could obviously just go for the Tier 7 IS or the IS-2 on the Chinese line, and you'll probably get the same experience with a little bit of grind. And the Cromwell B is a pretty good medium, especially if you're good at flanking and taking those really close positions neatly. Keep pushing. We have the HMH Chrysler K, the Defender, King Tiger, and AMX M449. The HMH Chrysler K is a Tier 8 heavy with pretty good side scraping ability and frontal armor, so if you haven't been into that gameplay just yet, this is a good bundle. Defender, very good tank, Object 252U. If you haven't gotten a chance to experience that, then that might be in your ballpark. King Tiger, you're a pleb, and the AMX M449, if you want to grind out silver like a bitch, because that thing has a 60% silver increase boost. Moving on to Soviet Assault, we have the Motherland, the Bison T-103, and the Verzila. The Motherland is a tank that keeps giving back to us, Cujo, and it's got a 100mm. It's kind of underpowered at Tier 8, but it still can, your mileage may vary. The Bison T103, the Jesus tank with the little flower crown of barbed wire. The Verzila, pretty good side scraping, very big tank. So these are pretty big tanks, especially for this bundle, so I wouldn't consider this, but at the same time, if you're into that heavy tank gameplay and you want to have the occasional spoof medium tank game, this is the bundle for you. Then we have the individual Earthshaker, Eradicator, Demolisher. We have the weekly deals. This is the Absolution and the IS-3 Audio. The Absolution you should definitely grab if you don't have. It's like the Panzer V4 at tier 6, and got a lot of space armor, very trolly. Still not the most invincible thing, but it's something that is as annoying as the Panzer V4. The IS-3 Auto, if you don't have the stockade, then this tank isn't really that special, because the Fatherland and this tank both have single shots versus the stockade having the autoloader. And then you always have your Spa Panzers and your U-75 TS and Bone Shaker. And then finally, to wrap this up, we have personal offers. We have the Banshee for 4,100. This is going to be a pretty decent tank, good DPM. The Liberté, premium matchmaking, not a lot of armor, and your mileage may vary. And then the Capture King Tiger, if you get this, you're a pleb.
Okay, folks. Well, that's your news, your bundles there, and have fun for the next week or so, being pestered to death by light tanks in mass and shelled to death by artillery because everybody's trying to get 50 matches in one single machine at a time. Hey, it could always get worse.